All right, firstly, Fitzroy, it's a pleasure to get a chance to speak with you. And we're approaching a landmark occasion once more, 23 years from that qualification. Each year as it passes by, do you treasure that moment even more, that final whistle against Mexico, qualifying for 98 in France? Do you treasure that each and every year when November comes around?
I really do, Simon, and I'm glad you reminded me that it's 23 years ago. Wow, time does now fly. And you know what, honestly, it's when you actually stop, when I actually retired, was the magnitude of the achievement. Almost took it in your stride as I was doing my job. But as time passes, I sometimes think, wow, really? And then you think, yeah, we did it. I mean, we've done it. And I always remember the final whistle. And there might be some video evidence to back this up. I went to, obviously, one of my closest friends on the earth, Paul Hall, and I said, is it done now? Have we done this? And he said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. It was almost like a fairy tale, you know, you still, and now even more so now, and with us not actually doing it again in this long period, overdue period, you think, what an achievement, bro.
Absolutely. And remember, you came into the campaign roughly when things were not the best. We were at the bottom of the table. You, Dion Burton came in, Paul Hall, Robbie Earl also was in the mix as well. And we needed wins. And those last 5 games, you know what happened, beat Canada, beat Costa Rica, got a draw against El Salvador, USA. I just wanted to know from you, what was key to that team doing so well, being unbeaten? Was it Rene? Was it the cohesion? What made that team so special for you?
For me, it was, when we look back at it now, and we have to look back at it now, the whole process of even before joining the camp, it was a conversation with Paul Hall and myself, really. We were in Portsmouth. I had disappointments of not being for the national team of England whilst at Manchester City. And I said, okay, let's try. And to our surprise, we had to write for a trial, which was not a problem. And I said, okay, let's do this. Went down to the process. And in the final stages, because Dion Burton was a little bit younger than us, and I had great belief in him, and he was a young man, confused, unfit. Bear with me. Sorry. Sorry, young man, unfit. And I said, listen, why don't you come and get fit in the summer with me and Paul? We almost like guided him. And he said, yeah, but he didn't actually realize, he thought we were going to the beach. And we ended up in Sutton Place in New Kingston, you know, which was fine. And then anyway, so we done that. And it was almost like immediately I was greeted by Peter Cargill, God bless him, and welcomed, should I say, into the squad. He pre-warned us that the greeting may not be as welcome as we thought it would be, because competition for places from English-based players. And so that was welcome information. And so from there we took it in, and automatically we bonded with the group. We came to learn from the group openly, and tried to bring what we could bring, you know. And or it was a unity. It was a mixed bag, because you had some young talents like Ricardo Gardner. You had some main standing players like, you know, Theodore Whitmore, the genius national team manager now, Ian Goodison, and Andy Lowe, the Pearl. You had some real characters. It was a real mixed bag of characters. Shorty Malcolm, God bless him, a team, and they just welcomed us, and we had to earn our right. Don't get me wrong, we had to earn our right, even to the coach at the time, René Simoes. He was sceptical, but I think again, God bless Captain Burrell. It was his vision, supported by Mr. Reed, and we just took it from there. But it was never a give me. It was actually one of the most difficult trials. I think it's the only trial I've ever been on. I've ever encountered, but it really, I think it was the only trial I've ever been on, but the most difficult. And yeah, it was a massive learning curve, and I appreciate it.
It's quite intriguing how time has gone by so quickly where that was concerned. You came into the fold, as you said, before the qualifiers. I think it was Antigua you maybe did, or Colombia, one of the two, and then you gently became a regular in the team. I just wanted to know from your perspective, being involved in the mix, the national team, do you look back on it with being proud? Do you look back with regrets when you analyse your entire international career? Are you happy with what you achieved? Did you want to score more goals? Or are you happy with what you were able to accomplish?
No, I've got to say this on record. It's the biggest achievement I've had in my football career. I've never really been an underdog as such in any club that I've been. I've been quite fortunate where we've always been competing for something. And I also have to state on record, I'm the proudest man to have worked with every individual that become my brothers in that team, the squad, the coaches, even the chef, the bus drivers, Mr. Barrows, and everything. It's the greatest honour of my life in sport and achievement to play for my country, represent my country. It gives me goosepimples now to think of a band of brothers given no chance, really, on everybody's records to achieve what we achieved. And then the question is twofold. I think we could have done more. I really, truly believed there was a time when we were rolling up in countries knowing we weren't going to get beat. And it became almost like an arrogance, knowing, okay, Brazil versus Jamaica, we're going to lose. We never come to lose. We were upset at drawing. I was upset at drawing. I wanted, and then going into the World Cup campaign, the minute and all the adulation settled down and the draw was made, my personal feeling was, we've got a massive chance here. A massive chance to progress out of the group. And even to today, I know we could have got out of that group. I know it because Croatia didn't know about us. Japan never knew about us. Our biggest stumbling block, which was Argentina, because we knew about them. But even then, we played the top team in South America and Brazil. We knew their style, which we would try to emulate a South American style because of the coach. We knew how to handle it, but they had fantastic players, as it proved. But I still believe that we should have and could have made it out of that group. And I've asked Prozinski if he ever really meant that goal. And he said no.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you said it because that Gold Cup against Brazil, everyone was writing us off, even Maldini, the coach of Italy at the time. And we were able to get the draw. And like you said, we were still disappointed that we were a team really competitive. You know, I had the chance to meet Slaven Bilic last year because he was on that Croatia team as well when I was in Manchester. And he was like, we didn't know anything about Jamaica, didn't have video footage or anything. So they didn't know what to expect. So it's clear that, you know, it was an opportunity, but it's a World Cup and played a part in it. And you were able to assist one of Jamaica's 3 goals in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, even now, I'm still waiting for Tapper to say thank you, you know.
That's true. I'll make sure you get the thank you.
No, yes. The thing is as well, I've spoken in the past, it was always a rule in camp that we just play things down. But internally, I've got to say, we were quietly confident and praying that we could make the next stages and then anything can happen. We've seen this World Cups past before, even when a child, and you know, you're watching the World Cups, there's always an underdog, and we were everybody's second team. But I mean, they almost felt like we shouldn't be there. But we would, okay, let's just play along with this. But we know, hold on a minute. At this particular time, we've got no fear. We had played Brazil twice, drew with them, and they beat us once. But they didn't want to see us again. Trust me, they didn't want to see us, and we didn't really have any fear about anybody, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Speaking briefly about Tapper, like right now being retired, do you get an opportunity to watch some of the current crop of players, any of the Jamaican matches? Do you stream online or watch on the telly to see Jamaica recently? Do you have a viewpoint on how the team is doing under Tapper? Have you had a chance to have a look at a couple of games?
Well, look, bear with me. Bear with me. The situation is we haven't been recently because of the situation, the pandemic that we find ourselves in. I'm always on the phone to Tapper. I know everything that's moving in Jamaica right now, young talents and stuff. And even before Tapper, I was looking at the squad. I've never, even though I retired and I've not been on the island as much as I should, I've always got my ear to the ground. I've got family there. I've got good friends there. As I say, half the team are still like my brothers, so we always connect how they're doing in their own personal careers and life. So yeah, we do. I know there's some interesting talents down there, young talents, and it's an exciting time. I know everything that's going on down there. Trust me, Simon.
Great. Yes, we do have a busy period of time, Gold Cup next year and World Cup qualifying. So hopefully we'll be able to see you in Jamaica when things start to ease down in the UK and you can be able to see some of the raw talents on the island.
Yeah, I mean, and going back to the raw talents, and I've been championing talents for many, many years, because, and I'll say this on record, I actually learned to play football in Jamaica. And yet I was highly regarded back here in England. But I actually learned to play football, and I had no shame in asking geniuses like Theodore Whitmore, show me how you do that again. Walter Boyd, show me how you do that again. Show me. I want to know, because some of the conditions that the boys were playing on the fields and stuff, I wasn't used to that. And then, you know, for them, technically, I was inferior, technically. And so I actually put that down in my education as a very, very big part of my education in my development of football. I think it's definitely Jamaica.
And finally, from me, Fitzroy, you have a son currently at FC United. How is he doing so far in the mix? A young and upcoming talent. We perhaps could see another reggae boy in the making.
Yeah, young Jordan. Yeah, he's FC United joined 2 weeks ago. It's a very difficult situation in England now for young talents because one, if you're between Jordan's 21 now, and he's been in the mix at Swindon, and then didn't find his way. Then he went to Forest Green, had played a couple of league games for them, and then you find yourself at Bath. question yourself if you haven't got the ability, and now he's found a home where he's happy. It's a long process, you know, and I mean, he's got a long way to go. He's still learning the game. He's got a good appetite for the game, and it is on the back of his mind to represent Jamaica one day. But there's some fantastic talents there. He's got to get ahead of first, you know, really. So yeah, and he's live on BBC this Saturday in the FA Cup. So hopefully the people of Jamaica can have a little